Welcome to another exciting episode of Musa and Show. Here is what we have today.
Sanibona, sisekule udaba le portfolio committee. Manje sizongena ke lapho khona Honorable Souls we PA. Ngiyamthanda lo mfo. Indlela abuza ngayo ama questions. Hayi, no man. Uyabona iParliament ifuna abantu abanje abangenamsindo kodwa ababeka inkulumo ezwakalayo. Awukazi wabangumsindo ngoba uba ku-opposition akusho ukuthi ufuna uba ngumsindo. Ngizocaphuna yena manje izolo sicaphuna iphathi yokuqala lapho bekukhulunywa khona ukuthi uminister njengoba ebekhulumile ukuthi unepanel elimsiza ukuselect abantu akalikhiphi uthi lingobani amagama ugcine egolozelo kodwa bamnqumela ugwayekatiki ofuna ukwazi kuzobuka leyo video leyo manje ngifisa sike siqhubekele phambili kunemibuzo ebalekile ayibuzile honorable Ashley Saul ebalekile efuneka siza ukuthi utheni. Ngicanga ukuthi lento ibalekile ngoba ithinta thina ikusasa lezwe nekusasa lezingane zethu. Sinenkinga unemployment eSouth Africa. Izo zonke izinto efuneka ilungiseke. Sinabantu eSouth Africa abangekho employed. Kubhlungu ukuthi lawo ma position occupy abantu abangabona abase South Africa. Ngiyacela usubscribe channel, like i-video, comment, ushare. Ungasisupport ukujoin membership. Ungasisupport ngosidonatela noma ngamalini ekhona i-account kwi-comment ephiniwe. Ngicela ke ukuza umbono wakho nansi nalo udaba lalandela.
Honorable Souls. Thank you, Chair. CFO, where are you born?
Through Chair, I was born in Zimbabwe, in the Midlands province, but I'm a naturalized South African citizen. Thank you.
In your place of birth, would you expect the Zimbabwean government to prioritize jobs for Zimbabweans by birth?
Chair, I don't know if it's fair for me to answer that question. I'm conflicted. I do not to answer you, but I thought maybe that question would have been directed.
Why would you be conflicted? You are born in Zimbabwe. I'm sure you are proud to be born in Zimbabwe.
I'm naturalized as a South African, Chair.
But you are born in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
And as someone born in Zimbabwe, would you expect the government in Zimbabwe to ensure that Zimbabwean citizens by birth are prioritized for jobs? That's not a conflicting question. What do you think, honestly?
I'm not sure if I should answer the question because I feel I'm conflicted, Chairperson. But obviously, I think
maybe you see, but what you should do, calculate it this way.
Yeah.
Let me understand the conflicting element there. Why are you conflicted?
Can you repeat yourself, Honorable?
Why are you conflicted?
No, because I'm the subject matter. I did not employ myself. I was employed by somebody else. And I would expect that maybe those who employed me would have a better response than I would have. Zimbabwe has got its own rules in terms of employment. South Africa has got its own rules in terms of employment. They've got different priorities. Chairperson, I should indicate that I've been a resident and citizen of South Africa for close more than 20 years now. My children were born in South Africa, and I'm a South African. Thank you.
Okay, let's change the subject matter. Someone born, not yourself. You're changing the subject matter. Someone born in Zimbabwe, other than yourself. Is it correct for him or her to feel that the Zimbabwean government must prioritize them, not you, them, for jobs in their country?
It depends on their circumstances. If they have grown up, worked the entire life of themselves, whether they were born in the DRC and they worked the entire life in Zimbabwe, or their children were born there.
CFO, now you're changing the subject matter. That's wrong. What you're doing now is wrong. I indulged you. I changed the subject matter upon your request. Now let's talk about based on the question. Please answer the question. Is it correct for not you, a Zimbabwean that is in Zimbabwe now, is it correct for that Zimbabwean to expect the government of Zimbabwe to prioritize jobs for them?
Zimbabweans. It's
Yes.
correct. It's correct. It's correct for the Zimbabwean government to prioritize jobs for Zimbabweans. It's correct.
Do you consider yourself South African or Zimbabwean?
Should I consider myself to be South African? I travel on a South African passport. Thank you.
You're no longer Zimbabwean.
The Zimbabwean constitution does allow for dual citizenship, so does South African. So I still hold my Zimbabwean ID. That's correct.
So are you still Zimbabwean?
Yes, I'm Zimbabwean by birth.
So why do you say you are no longer you South African?
I said I'm South African because
you should say
I paid allegiance to South Africa when I naturalized as a South African. All my children were born here except for one. They have studied here, so I consider myself to be South African. All my adult life, my working life, was spent in South Africa.
what you should say, CFO, is that I am Zimbabwean, because it sounds like you are denying that you're Zimbabwean. You must be proud to say I am Zimbabwean and I'm a naturalized citizen of South Africa. As such, I'm Zimbabwean and hold dual citizenship in South Africa and Zimbabwe. But I am Zimbabwean. Because Zimbabweans are watching you. And are you now saying you are no longer Zimbabwean? You must be proud. You must say I'm Zimbabwean.
Chair, I did not renounce my Zimbabwean citizenship. I'm proud of my dual citizenship of both Zimbabwe and South Africa. I still hold my Zimbabwean ID. I did not renounce it. Zimbabwe allows me also to be a naturalized South African, and I've naturalized as a South African.
Are you allowed to vote?
I'm allowed to vote in both countries. Thank you.
How do you view South African citizens that are saying that jobs that they vote for is occupied by foreign nationals or permanent residents? How do you feel about that?
Honorable Member, I take it that the context is now different. It has moved from my situation to that of foreign nationals and naturalized and permanent residents. Am I getting it correctly?
You're correct.
So you can repeat your question. You're saying the question is, how do I view?
How do you view it? How do you feel as a naturalized citizen? You consider yourself South African. Now, other South Africans feeling that jobs that they voted for government to prioritize for them as South Africans. Now you must speak. I want to hear, do you have the patriotic South African vibe? Or will the Zimbabwean by birth creep in there somewhere? As a South African, naturalized citizen, do you think that fellow South Africans is correct in saying that jobs should be prioritized for South African citizens?
I think the answer should be contextualized. I do agree with that sentiment. However, the context is we are a university. When we employ people at a university, we may also, from an internationalization perspective, consider foreign students, which is something that universities must strive to build.
Okay.
And also the international flavor in terms of the employees that
Okay, I have to interject you just because of time. And we're gonna now deal with contextuality. You say you agree, right? Now we're gonna deal with context. Chairperson of Human Resource in the council, right? That's the committee. Chairperson.
That's correct, Honorable Member.
Chairperson, what's your nationality?
I'm a South African, Honorable Member.
How are you classified? You're dealing with Human Resource. How are you classified?
I'm born South African. If it comes to classification per race, classified as white.
You're white South African. I'm very happy that out of 1,893 total staff, 1,732 is black South Africans. I'm very happy about that. Are you happy that out of 1,893, only 111 is white South Africans?
Honourable Member, I'm happy that the statistics accurately reflect the demographics primarily of the country and that of the region.
So you're happy.
Yes, I am. Honourable Member.
Director, what is your nationality? Director, Human Resource, did I hear correctly? Is that
Senior
Director?
Director, University.
Director, what's your nationality?
I'm classified as a colored South African.
A colored South African. Now, to the both of you, out of 1,893 total, there are only 7 colored South Africans employed. What is the reason for this?
Well, our employment equity plan works on the basis of natural attrition. So it's not working on the basis that we basically get rid of people in order to get the representation figures right. It works on the basis of natural attrition, and you will know natural attrition, especially in a South African university sector, where our turnover is something like 2.7%. You just don't get the opportunity to very robustly and aggressively increase the numbers where they may be lacking. That's the situation.
Are you saying that that's the reason why you only have 7 coloreds out of 1,893 total staff?
The principle we work on is natural attrition. Our other aspect is how do we attract people to apply for positions at our university. We have a number of impediments. The most significant one, to my observation, is the location of our
Okay, let me put it to you
university.
this way. Natural attrition. Let me put it to you this way. Foreign nationals, not permanent residents, foreign nationals are 10 in total. 10 foreign nationals, which the law says you should not employ unless it is a scarce skill. It's not permanent residents. I don't have time, but this would be my last question. It has to be. There's 10 foreign nationals. They are more than coloreds in total
And they
at the university.
agreed.
How does your reason justify that?
Okay, because that category of employee is based on a contract. They're not permanent employees.
Are you listening to yourself? now?
Yes, I am listening to myself.
You have 7
Yes.
colored South Africans
Yeah.
in total. You have on contract, it's still employment. Somebody's going home with money.
I think
You have 10 foreign nationals, more than colored South Africans born here. Foreign nationals, based on the conversation we're having here, there's permanent residents, there's naturalized citizens. Now you have foreign nationals that doesn't have permanent residence. They don't have naturalized citizenship. You have more of them employed at the university and less colored South Africans born here. How do you justify that? Do you understand what I'm saying? Colored South Africans are being marginalized in this country. There is no justification. I overlook the whole permanent resident thing. I overlook the whole naturalized citizen thing. You cannot explain away now where the law says you cannot employ a foreign national, whether on contract, casual, or whatever. And what you guys are doing, you take 7 colored South Africans that are born here. You take 10 foreign nationals, and that's supposed to be okay?
Can I respond?
Is that okay?
No, it's not okay, and I'll tell you why it's not okay. Can I?
Please.
Yeah.
So, we've spoken earlier about the whole issue of contextualizing issues. So I think the better question or the better evidence to give you is in terms of how many coloreds have applied for particular positions at the university. And I think against that background, we can then talk about whether employing only 7 is correct or not.
I'm going to
And-
close
and-
with this.
and-
And I'm going to close with this. My time is up, but I must tell you, I'm extremely disappointed. Because you're choosing to justify this. You are basically saying more foreign national supplies than coloreds. Your stat says,
Yes, I'm
your
saying
stat
that.
says,
I'm saying that.
it's impossible.
I will show you the statistics anytime.
And I'm going to challenge that officially. There are hundreds of colored South Africans looking for jobs in this country. And for you to employ more foreign nationals and the law doesn't allow you to do so, and you are justifying it, and you from the race group, I'm extremely disappointed.
Yeah. No, thank you very much, Honorable Souls. Just close the mic there. Maybe, do you guys have what is the transformation policy there? What does it say?
Basically have an EE plan, which was reviewed last year. And the EE plan has what our targets against the national statistics, as well as the Gauteng provincial statistics.
What does it say about colored Indians and whites being employed there?
So it's a percentage. I don't have it offhand, but it's a percentage of what the statistics say we should have, and it will then also indicate to you how much is the shortfall or the deficit in each category.
And it will tell you. So you are currently have a shortfall.
We definitely have a shortfall in the colored,
And
we have
then-
a shortfall in the Indian, and we have a shortfall in the white category.
And when you advertise, they don't apply. What do you do?
Okay. So what we have, what we
So
indicate.
you advertise. You've got targets, right, at the back of your head. But my target is to have 20 colors in total, 13 females, 7 males. That's your target. Currently, we've got 7. 4 males, 3 females. So you need 10 females. We advertise for 100 positions. They don't apply. What do you do? Because if you continue the process, then you're not going to reach your target. That's where the question comes from. What have you done to make sure that you reach your EE targets as far as that is concerned?
Absolutely correctly, Chairperson. As I said, our EE plan with the reviewed one was just last year, November, at the council meeting in November, it was approved. And we're moving from, in our adverts, talking about affirmative action to asking for specific naming of the representation group that we're looking for. So that is going to be the move in relation to our adverts.
Okay, fine. We are not answering us because you are not reaching your targets. Whatever that you are saying you are doing is not yielding results. It's what Einstein talks about insanity. Doing same thing over and over again and expecting different results because you are not reaching your targets. And the answer you are giving me is that you've got it all worked out. And I don't think Citizenship, but it's okay. We will, like I said, we are going to have a second bite with this. Honorable Khabo, is that the point of order?
Yes, Chairperson.
What is the point of order?
When you say to the member that they are not achieving their target, it should be properly stated. They are intentionally marginalizing colored South Africans.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Souls. I know you are charged up. I don't want to say out of order because you are going to come again. You are fine. You are. It's a point I'll take, Honorable Khabo.
No, Chair, before I get to my issues, while I'm on my 10%, probably one must recommend that you must look into other avenues as a way of getting the message across. There is a narrative in the public space that creates an impression that coloreds are not accommodated. Ne? And there is a narrative that they are deliberately being excluded. When in actual fact, the reality of the matter is that there is a lack of information getting across to them. So you probably must look into your other ways of communicating the issue of inclusion of other races so that we are able to strike a balance, so that tomorrow when we engage on this matter, you are at least able to demonstrate that the university is willing to deal with this issue of transformation. I just wanted to indicate that one. Chair, let me go. I'll indicate who must respond to my questions. CFO, I think one of the members has indicated that you are a committee of parliament. When you appear before parliament, the expectation is that you should be honest. And anything that you say that contradicts honesty or the truth will then be taken to task. And I'm going to plead with you, Chairperson, that at some point we'll have to do example. Because most of these universities are presenting before us and typically they are lying to us. I'm going to plead with you not to lie to me. I see you have put on a rosary there. Expectation is that you are a Christian, but we are going to put that to test. You said you are, when you were introducing yourself, you said that you are an acting DVC and a CFO. Did I hear you correctly?
The CFO position is my substantive position. Currently, I'm occupying only the position of Deputy Vice Chancellor Operations.
So you are acting as a Vice Chancellor?
Sorry, Deputy Vice Chancellor Operations.
Deputy Vice Chancellor Operations.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So in which capacity are you here in? As a DVC or as a CFO?
I was tasked to address both the areas of finance and of infrastructure as was requested. My colleague, who is the acting chief financial officer, could not be here with us. So, Honourable Member, I'm addressing both.
Okay, thank you very much. CFO, how long have you been the CFO at the university?
Shy of 8 years now.
It's 8 years.
Yeah. But
Thank you very much. 8 years, 8 years. No. Let us not go to town unnecessarily. What is your highest qualification, CFO?
I've got a PhD in finance, if you consider that to be the highest.
Okay. Where did you acquire your qualifications?
I've got a number of universities.
Let's speak about your PhD that you have just made the reference.
PhD is from the Gordon Institute of Business Sciences, that's the University of Pretoria.
Okay. No, thank you very much, CFO. I want to check with you. When you are paying a certificate for the work done, how do you verify whether the amount is aligned to the certificate that has been submitted?
I'll give you an example. For example, the 2,000 beds that we have spoken about, there is a principal agent who verifies the work. He's an engineer. The company doing that is Royal Asconi. They go through that. They make a presentation to all the funders that sit in a room through a
CFO, let's stop there.
Yeah.
That attitude of prolonging your responses with an intention of confusing me, it's a Christmas you'll never see from me. I'm asking you, in a minute or two,
yeah,
how are you conducting? You receive a certificate, you verify, you go on site, or you send someone as part of the delegation, then they bring you a report, then you press enter. I just want that explanation.
No, okay. So when we make payments, the user department is the one that confirms that work has been delivered. So we match the order against the invoice and the confirmation of the work having been delivered.
Okay.
It's called the 3 ways.
So do you want to tell me that out of all the payment certificate that you have processed, we will not find anything whereby you have overpaid the contractor in line or not necessarily having assessed the work done? Or basically, let me make it simple. Do you want to tell me that in all of the payments that you have done, it is aligned to the work on site? Even if you can make an assessment of the progress, it's aligned?
Chair, all the work that we have paid for would have been confirmed by the user department. Obviously, if there's misrepresentation, that could have happened, but we are quite comfortable that our systems are robust when it comes to that.
Thank you very much. I'm raising this because of, I think, Institutional Forum made an allegation that, number one, you are colluding with service providers. You are having an unholy relationship with service providers to an extent that you are prolonging payments, you are prolonging projects. There is an allegation of the swimming pool project. How much did it cost us there?
Chairperson, I don't recall the figure.
Okay, fine. When you don't recall the figure, you'll submit it in writing. Eh?
Yeah.
When was the project started?
The project that is being referred to happened somewhere around 2022 or thereabouts.
Fine. Include it on our report.
Yeah.
Is it usable? The swimming pool, is it usable after spending that money that you had spent? As a person who has approved payment, is it usable? Because there are allegations that it is not usable.
To my knowledge, Chairperson, currently is not being used and is not usable.
It's not usable. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's
it's not
to my
usable
knowledge right now. Yes.
It's not usable. My understanding is that its condition does not allow Penny Hayes to go and swim there.
Yeah, because it has been more than 3 years since it was.
Thank you very much. Meaning that government have spent money on a project that they cannot benefit from the fruits of that project.
No, Chairperson, I need to clarify this.
No, don't clarify. Don't clarify.
No.
I'll ask you to clarify if it needs arise.
Okay.
I'll ask you to give us a detailed report of all projects that you have conducted for the past 5 years. Give us a detailed report. Include the project name, the scope of work, the project time frame, when did it start, when was it supposed to start, the budget, the initial budget and the augmented budget, including the project management team. Because largely there is a challenge of your project management. It has been proven otherwise. Do you have a maintenance plan now that the allegations, in fact, there is a view that the infrastructure has aged. Do you have a maintenance plan in your current budget?
Chairperson, there is a maintenance plan that we present.
Thank you very much. How much
but,
is
I need to indicate that it is in its infancy. Our maintenance department has been identified as one of the weakest points of the university. And we're in the process of
CFO,
obtaining
don't play that game with me. When I raise my hand, you must know that I'm fine.
Okay.
Thank you very much. You'll force me to stop you in the process. You said that you don't have a maintenance plan.
We have got, but
got.
it's not fully funded because of the deferred maintenance that we have got and other issues. Like the honorable member indicated that just today we had our pipes leaking as we woke up this morning.
Fine.
So we have to spend money.
Is there
from
a
elsewhere
budget
to
in
fix
your
those.
budget? In your budget, is there budget kept aside for maintenance? I'm not sure, people of construction, is it 5% or 10% of your overall budget that must be kept aside for? If you say that it's not enough, why is it not enough?
We do have a budget. It's not enough because of the limitation of resources and also because of the aged infrastructure that we have got on campus. Like I indicated, our infrastructure is more than
You are the CFO,
years
ne?
old. Yes.
You are the CFO.
Yes,
You are a person of numbers.
that's true.
Yes. Why is it difficult to look into your assets that you have, and have a budget before you and be unable to reprioritize your budget as a way of refurbishing this aging? Remember, part of maintenance plan is to avoid the decay of the property.
Chair, our requirement for deferred maintenance alone is close to R1 billion, and our total operating costs for the university on an annual basis is far less than 600 million. So
Sharp.
we do not have the resources
Fine.
as much as we know what needs to
Do you have reserves?
we do not have. Our reserves that we have can only cover us for a
No,
period of
don't
3
answer what I
months.
did not ask. Do you have reserves? Yes or no?
We do not have.
You don't have reserves.
Yes.
Let me allow you to cool down in the meantime. Let me go to the Deputy Chair of the Council. There are allegations of sexual harassment against the CFO. Is there any case of sexual harassment that you are aware of that is opened against the CFO?
I'm not aware of the case, Honorable Member, but those allegations that you are talking about are part of this investigation. They were in those anonymous.
So you are aware of the allegations of sexual harassment?
Yes, I'm aware.
Barwa. Eh? Okay. Barry. Chef, can't do what is happening here. Do you, Chairperson, can we clarify that you are not in a management meeting where you do as you wish here? Yeah, you are in Parliament. You are going to be held accountable in line with the accountability framework that is there. I'm going to plead with you to conduct yourself in a professional manner. Are you aware of the allegations of sexual harassment? I'm going to repeat myself. Why? Nine? Are you aware of those allegations?
Honorable
Yes or
member,
no?
I've said yes.
Oh,
from
thank
the-
you very much.
from
I could not get
anonymous
you.
letters.
I could not get you because
Oh, I'm
the
sorry.
CFO wanted to misbehave here,
Okay.
and we'll attend to him decisively in no time. The appointment process of the Vice Chancellor is questioned. Why was in fact, the organized labor is arguing that in 2024, they have sent a request to form part of the labor recruitment processes in 2024. Is it in 2024 labor?
Correct, Chair.
Thank you very much.
2024 first term.
2024, and you are saying that the reason why they could not be accommodated in the recent process that included the appointment of the VCs because of the current policy does not allow their inclusion in the process. Between 2024 and 2025, what is it that you have done as a council to resolve the inclusion of the labor in the process?
Can I request the Secretary of Council, who is now the acting TVC, because I think this matter was before him.
No.
Can he assist on the matter?
No. You are a deputy, eh? And you said that you are standing here on behalf of the chair. Now, my question is directed to the council. Let me qualify my statement. Both the Labour and Institutional Forum have said that you have unholy. You know, one day I'll unpack this unholy. There are allegations of corruption in this relationship of yours. They are arguing that you are sidelining them. They are not included in anything as council. Now, my question is to you, as a deputy chair of council. What is it that you have done to include the organized labor in the process of recruitment? Are you the deputy chair? Are you the deputy chair? My question was specific.
Can I then answer, Honorable Member? I think I did answer this matter. That's why probably I wanted a different voice on the matter. 2024 is not too long. We are in 2025 now. To review a policy, Honorable Member, doesn't take 6 months.
How long does it
Takes
take
a
you?
process.
Okay, ma. How long does it take you? I understand the interpretation or meaning of process. How long does it take you to review a policy?
Well, Chair, Honorable Chair, it depends on the parties that are involved.
All right, you are unable to respond that. How long does it take? 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, a year? You said that a year is not enough. How long does it take you?
No, I will give you an example. For the policy that the students were referring to, it was back and forth. In fact, that policy that they are talking about, it was sent to them as the SRC. It took 3 months for them, and there's been change in SRC. The new SRC wants to have their own say in the policy. So it depends from policy to policy. That policy took more than a year.
Thank you very much. Ke a go kopa gore ba o kry-le metsi o iketle ke a bona ka rotse ga ke maikutlo ebile o tshimola o oketsa lentswe. I want to understand with you, Chairperson, this is my last one, I'm wrapping up. Just this one of policy reviewer, and I'll just submit my proposal. I want to understand with you, there are allegations that you are running or you are refusing to accept the advices of the institutional forum, as it has been alleged there. Ne? Second to that, it is alleged that you do not take into consideration the views or the role that key stakeholders like your labor and students must have in any process that speaks to the day-to-day running of the institution. I want to check with you, how do you conduct your policy review process? Agropalosi, you failed to respond to me on how long does it take you as an institution to review a policy. That one you have failed to respond. Which process do you embark on when reviewing a policy? And second to that, which stakeholders are left? Chairperson, I'm just left with one question, if you can allow me. I wanted to squeeze this one of the investigation, if you would allow me. You can respond in the meantime. I was talking to the chair.
Honorable Member, please know that the review of policy is in the remnant of management. It's not a council prerogative. It then comes to council to approve. Hence, I was referring you
Council.
to the secretary of council to assist
Council.
in this process because we are not involved
Okay.
in the process.
Let me tell you,
But
let me
we
give you an
do
example.
approve the policies.
Let me give you an example. We are not involved in the affairs of the minister. Ne? But in terms of the legal framework, the minister accounts to us as a portfolio committee. You are not involved, even though it is alleged that some of you are involved in the administration. In terms of the legal framework, you are not involved in the administration, but you hold the administration accountable. Now, as a person who had realized that there are certain policies that hamper the smooth running of the institution, to an extent that one of the critical components being labor has written to me, as a person who must hold management accountable, that there is a gray area, especially on areas of recruitment. That's why I'm asking you that question that is very simple. What is it that you have done between now and at the time when labor had raised an issue? But you can leave it, ma. Can leave it. I'll submit my question in writing and I'll expect you. My last question, my last shot. And in fact, it's aligned to yours. When you're dealing with this policy review, who does these reviews? Do you do them internally or do you appoint an external service provider to conduct those review process? Maybe I must just guide it with the last one.
It's okay. Switch off the mic.
Answer.
Who's answering? We want the mic, yeah.
All right. Thank you. When we do a
Don't come with that attitude to me.
but you're also coming with an attitude.
What attitude am I
You
bringing?
can talk to me respectfully.
What
You
did I
can
do?
also talk to me respectfully.
How am I disrespectful? How am I disrespectful?
You also have the right to
How am I disrespectful?
The house is degenerating.
Vice Chancellor. Vice Chancellor. Vice Chancellor. We're in a meeting in Parliament. Can you please not do that?
Chair.
I'm still addressing the Vice Chancellor. Switch off the mic there. I'll give you, I'm addressing the Vice Chancellor. But please, Vice Chancellor, let's respect our meeting. Because if you behave like this, I'm unable to protect you from members. You are now moving out of the protection that I have a responsibility to afford to all of you. And I've been standing here calling your name, Vice Chancellor, your title, but you are not helping yourself. Honorable Shugamba.
No, thank you, Chair. I think we need to protect this process, Chair. We cannot have a situation where we are going to have people exchanging words like that. And I take a concern of this issue because it's just that I respected my time. But in one of my questions was to ask her about the F words that she's using on their WhatsApp groups against the other staff. And this is what is actually being displayed now to say she loses it at some point and goes to other things. Thank you.
Okay.
Noma kuzoqhubeka kanje eParliament kusho ukuthi impela simelwe ngoba kufanele abantu baphendule futhi nabantu asuke sibathumele eParliament bavela ukuthi bayasebenza. Ngiyajabulela lento ukuthi ama-portfolio committee aya broadcastwa live ukuze abantu babone ngoba ngenxa yokuthi asuwenzi thina lama video ngezathu sokucabanga ukuthi ngeke sibe nama views kodwa ke lokho kubulala izinto esuke ikhulunywa ngoba abantu bagcina bengazi ukuthi kuthiweni ngezinto ezithinta bona especially nje kule committee. Le committee libaluleke ngendlela eyisimanga ngoba ilele liphethe impilo zeingane zethu nekusasa lalezo especially on higher education and training ngoba ilafunika khona kukhishwe khona abantu abaskilled abazokwazi ukuthi ba implemente ukuze kuzokwazeka ukuthi abantu babe nemisebenzi. Ibaluleke kakhulu le committee. Ngiyabonga kakhulu mina nawe sidibane kwivideo elandelayo. Sisazoyicaphuna nje le committee kancane kancane. Caba mhlambe socaphuna ivideo yokugcina ebese sidlula kuyo sibheka namanye ama committee. Ngiyabonga.